is Today's topic is why do people drink? Now this is gonna hit a lot of homes, and you even know why you do. What's up, Rob? Why do people drink? And you see more females than males nowadays drinking. Like if it's in style or if it's a trend or something. You look at your social media tonight, for example, starting around 9ish, 10 o'clock. See how many people you see going to the bar, going to the club, going to the lounge, and sipping on some liquor. Right? Just think about it. How many of these people what I see every Friday and every Saturday and even Sundays, on Sundays, that's why I'm getting off on social media on the weekends. After this, I'm logging off. No social media for the weekend. But anyway, why do people drink, right? One, a lot of people are afraid to face their inner demons, their traumas, their hurts, the pains, the victim mentality that they have. They're constantly trying to run away instead of facing the wounds, the trauma, the pain. They're always coming up with excuses only to run away instead of facing the trauma. So they numb their pain. They run away from their pains because either A, this is to the females, and please, with the utmost respect, it's A lot of females have been sexually molested, assaulted, raped at a young age, and it started at home, right? That's one. This is on the female department. A lot of females have been placed and put on a standard where they feel like they have to have the fake eyelashes, the fake lips, the fake BBLs, the fake hair, the fake nails. Like everything on a woman is, in today's society, is fake. But they're telling you this is the image you're supposed to carry on. And that being your authentic version self is not good enough. It doesn't qualify you to be yourself. Think about it. If you drink, you fit in, you blend in. But all you're doing is numbing your pain. You're not facing the trauma. You're not facing the hurts, the pains, the resentment, the bitterness, the anger. All the hidden traumas that are buried inside of you. Because everything is from the inside out. Like it's quoted. As above, so below. As within, so without. As above, the heavens is the mind. Because I'm speaking facts, right? Hey, Remy. Like I was saying. As above, so below. As within, so without. As above is the heavens. As without is what you create, is what you manifest, is your reality. Thoughts become things. You attract, creating, painting the picture that comes into existence. Say hi to Harmony. Today's topic is about why do people drink liquor, whatever. Hi. Oh shit. My nigga. What's up, my nigga? So it's the childhood wounds, the childhood traumas, the insecurities, the abandonment issues, the resentment, the anger, the it's all these hidden wounds and traumas, which now is reflected as being toxic, because now whenever someone gets into a relationship and actually discovers and finds out that this person is not healed, it's actually wounded and it's bleeding all over on people. And that becomes the trauma. That becomes the experience. I've gotten a phone call, no, I got a text actually, from one person, it's a female, and asks me, she's in her healing process, right? So she was dealing with someone for 5 years off and on, and she tells me that it hurts more to not speak to this person because she's so used to and accustomed to actually staying in contact with this person. I told her, the journey begins the moment you let go. The journey begins the moment you start to heal. The journey begins the moment that you decide that you're worth it. You're worth more and you're valuable. You're significant. You're important. You're special. But running back means you don't value yourself. You have a low self-esteem. And a lot of females in today's society, which is not spoken on, have a low self-esteem. A lot of women in today's society, I speak to a lot of females, and a lot of females have a low self-esteem. Either someone at home has broken their spirit, someone has either molested them, I don't know, remind me, refreshing my memory. A lot of females have low self-esteem in today's society. A lot of females have abandonment issues. A lot of people in general have insecurities. And it's not like my personal insecurity was, because it's already dealt with and healed from. And I confronted my moms. I confronted her with my issues. I've spoken to my moms. Oh, yes, the video. The person that you're seeking for is seeking yourself. Is becoming that version of yourself to be, so that you can reflect, show love, and become the best version. So that you can attract and manifest someone vibrating on the same level of frequencies, the same energy. It's just a mirror running back to you. Everyone that you come across paths with is just mirroring, either from past trauma, which is still the residue still lingering, right? Or in the present moment, which is the high vibrational frequency with your... So, matter of fact, someone asked me this week, like 2 days ago. She asked me, how do certain females do not come across these toxic men? Like, how is it that it's possible that I had to come across this person who traumatized her? I said, Mommy, it's simple. That's because the trauma that you have experienced as a child, as a young little girl, as either your father or mother has caused this trauma in you, which is a subconscious mind attracting, mirroring back to you the wounds you have not yet dealt with. You haven't dealt with the wounds. You haven't dealt with all those open wounds that you have not dealt with. Nah, I'm not gonna go there. This one is you're throwing me off, man. The undealt hidden traumas and the wounds, because people like to constantly point fingers, right? Thank you. They like to start pointing fingers. Nobody points a finger inside. Nobody does this. Everybody's always pointing out. Start learning how to take accountability. It's responsibility, right? It's your job. It's your task. It's your assignment. It's your life. It's your journey. Your journey that you're on right now, it's leading you to your promise, to your destiny, to your dream, to that vision. But you first got to discover your passion. What's your passion? What is something that you naturally do that's like a hobby? For me, for example, would be like inspiring or helping people to become their best version of themselves, like to find their true essence, to find their true purpose. I'm always encouraging or inspiring or motivating somebody every day. No matter what day of the week it is, no matter if I'm upset, I will even find it within me to inspire someone, even on my worst day. But it's just in me, right? So like, that's what I'm here to do. That's my purpose. So this girl asked me, how is it that other females don't come across these certain low vibrational, how some of these females do not come across these men who are toxic? I told her it's because that's a low vibrational frequency. When a woman is she's elevated. She's vibrating on a high frequency. Her energy is high. Her frequency is high. She's not on the same channel. When you vibrating down here and she's up here, the men that she's going to attract is the men that's on the same level. So when you're vibrating low, you attract all types of energy. So it's up to you to heal the wounds. It's up to you to deal with the trauma. It's up to you to face the insecurity. It's up to you to face your fears. It's up to you. It's all a choice at the end of the day. And her confession to me was that her father was toxic. And there's a lot of things that the boyfriend did that resembled and reminded her of her father. So her father would walk around in his boxers in the house. She said that this gentleman that she was dating, thank you for the follow, this gentleman she was dating would act and do the same things that resembled and reminded her of her father. And I said, you see where it's coming from, right? It's a wound. You got a father issue. You got to deal with that. So what I told her, now some of the people who followed me from the prior live, I told them, write a love letter. That forgiveness letter, it heals a lot of situations that you're dealing with internally. Just got to be poured out. It's got to be released, because holding it back is only hurting and harming you. It's not harming the other person. You're not doing it for the other person. You're doing it for yourself, so that you don't have resentment, any bitterness. But anyway, the reason why, the question was, why do people drink? And people drink so they can numb their pain, so they can run away from their fears, so they don't face their hurt, their pains, their traumas. They don't have the courage. It's called liquid courage, ain't it? So they have the courage to act out, but they're acting out from a childhood wound, that little boy, that little girl. So I have a new perspective on people now. So whenever I see someone that's insecure, hurt, wounded, I see the child in them, and then I have a different perspective on them. My perception on that person changes, and I start to feel bad for them. Instead of getting upset and being on the same level, on the same frequency, on the same energy as they were, I look at them and like, damn. So I say that to say is, there was a gentleman in the gym actually this week, comes up to me, and I was doing bicep. I do not like to be interrupted with my bicep workout, but anyway, comes up to me, he's like, he was feeling under the weather. I said, he said he was feeling under the weather. I said, what you got, COVID? Me, I joke around. If you know my sense of humor, it's not your typical sense of humor. You better have thick skin when you're joking with me, because I might just come at you a little hard. But it comes from love. It doesn't come from a place of, I'm trying to make you feel like you less than. If anything, I'm trying to challenge you, your state of mind, to see if I can joke with you. If I feel like I can't joke with you, that means there's sensitivity, there's things taken personal. When you learn how not to take anything personal, we have no attachment to it, everything is free. You're flowing. It's a state of flow. But anyway, this gentleman from the gym, he comes up to me, starts talking to me. He says, you know, when I had COVID, my sister was the one that used to take care of me. And I'm like, where is he coming with this, right? So I feel like spirits come to you so that you could give them a healing answer. So I'm like, man, you know what? This means no matter where I go, I got to be that person, right? So I tell him, yo, when was the last time you spoke to your sister? He said, oh, it's been a while. I haven't spoken to my sister, and she was the one that was taking care of me when I had COVID. I said, yo, put your pride aside, man. Why are you allowing your pride? The very person that took care of you when you were sick is the hand that you decide to bite. Hero of the universe. It depends on the person. You can only attract what you vibrate on, correct? So a lot of people who vibrate on that same energy is the same frequency, which is the same chapter, same channel, same, how would you say, same level. What they say, new levels bring out new devils. But, so this gentleman, he keeps telling me about his sister, and I'm telling him, yo, put your pride aside, man. Call your sister. You need to speak to your sister. If that's correct, right, let's stay on that. Why would the lesson show up if there's still not a wound within yourself that hasn't been dealt with? To come and teach you the lesson that you have to face from the broken wounds or the broken trauma or the hidden insecurity that you haven't dealt with, because that's what's going to level you up. Correct? So you don't attract, you attract based on your frequency. So back to the gentleman, I told him, call your sister. You need to speak to your sister. He says, I'm going to call her because you know, I'm going to listen to you, Nate, whatever. I'm like, all right, go ahead. Call your sister, man. You need to speak to your sister. Put your pride aside. Because holding a grudge and having resentment and being bitter, it shows in your face, man. You carry that with you, that your spirit is broken right now. So the next day in the gym, he comes up to me. He said, yo, I called my sister. I listened to what you said. Thank you. I said, why you say that? You don't got to thank me. If anything, you got to thank her and you speak to her. And I don't got nothing to do with me. I'm just steering you to what you should do as a brother. He ends up finding out that his sister needs a liver transplant. And if it wasn't for me telling him to call her, he would have never found out, because he was still holding a grudge, resentment towards his bitter. So now he feels guilty for not speaking to her, for his sister, all this time. And I told him, you see what happens when you put your pride in the way of things? It blocks connection. It makes you disconnected from people, disconnected from who you are. But you want to have your pride and your ego take into position, which allows you to become this version of yourself who's not you. Jersey, don't even start. I know you're over there sitting in silence. So when he told me that, I was like, listen, this is our problem in today's world. What do you mean? That's a trap. A trap is a repeated cycle, which becomes a vicious cycle, which becomes repetitive only because you haven't dealt, you haven't healed, and you haven't learned the lesson. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow. Isn't that how it works? Queen. Some Serena. So you know, like a couple of people come to me for advice. In order to pass that state, in order to learn the lesson. How can you learn the lesson and be stuck in the same cycle? That means you never really learned the lesson. That's why it's being repetitive. You cannot learn. That's like saying I went to third grade. I passed third grade, but I haven't learned anything from third grade, and I'm repeating third grade again. You cannot go past to the fourth grade unless you learn the lesson from the third grade. You can't progress unless you learn the lesson. It's how you graduate. Elevating is learning. Then you win. Then becomes the progress. Hey, love. How the kids? Damn, this shit. Thank you for the love, Serena. They home now, right? So, those who just came in, one, thank you. One, what is the reason why people drink today? Besides the reason of numbing their pain, right? They're not facing their issues. They're not dealing with their trauma. They're running away from their fears. They're not dealing with their demons, but they're allowing their demons to control them in order to continue to do and have the excuse to continue to do what they're doing repetitively, only to act out of the victim mentality instead of the creator mentality. The creator mentality is the one that creates the from the energy of love, the energy of a healed wound, masculine wound, and a feminine, not masculine wound, excuse me, masculine healed. And what it really comes down to at the end of the day is forgiving those who hurt, harmed, and disserviced you or traumatized you. Holding on to that grudge is only hurting and harming you. I remember reading in this book that said, when you hold on to grudges or bitterness or hate someone, you weren't created to hate, you were created to love. And that hate, it's something that you weren't designed to do because that's not in your nature. It's not in your DNA. It's not in your blood. What it does is it opens up the wounds. Let's just say the wounds of your heart. It invites sicknesses. It invites diseases. And that's how people get cancer, by the way. It's through the ingestion of food, and it's through the emotional dysfunctional trauma, resent, anger, hatred in their heart. Because you were designed to just love naturally. But the first love that you got to have is for yourself. Finding yourself is number one. Loving yourself in every aspect: mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, intellectual. Like, I have a few exercises for women, especially because you guys are the ones who are told. I remember growing up. I'm from 78. I'm 45, right? So I remember growing up, girls would throw up their food to look anorexic. So they looked like stick figures. And that was the thing at that time. No one speaks about this now, right? Like, you don't hear about this shit. Back then, you had to look like a stick figure to be the model look. Now, you gotta look like you have a tomato for an ass standing on toothpicks. Like, the framework for women, you guys gotta deal with a lot of shit. You guys have the shitty end of the stick at the end of the day. One, your hair is fake. You guys have extensions and all this other extra stuff. Your eyelashes is fake. You guys, some of you guys look like you got wings, so you're about to fly away. The contacts is fake, right? You can literally tell by the lining on your eye that's not your color eye. Your lips look like Daffy Duck, right? So now your lips are sticking out to here, and they look like big old bubble lips. Like, you look like the gremlin, the female gremlin. Like, come on, love, for real. Your body, you're getting BBLs done. You could tell because you're all tatted up on your stomach area. So because they had to cut you open from side to side, right? And they take out the fat or whatever it is, and then they sew you back, flipping your skin back. And then you got a tattoo over that just to cover up. Because now you feel insecure about your skin, yourself, and you don't even know who you are. At this point, you've lost your identity. You don't even know who you really are as a person, as an individual, or what you are. Men, this is where you women have competition with. You guys have competition with men. Men are trying to be women. Now I'm going to get a little on the real ethical, real conversation, right? I see men wearing dresses like if with a straight beard. What is this world coming to? In my time, we were allowed to put your hands on these people. Today, you can't. Back then, we fixed it. But, so now women have all these insecurities because there's plenty of topics right now. Hey, love. Hey, Kendra. Women have to deal with competing with another woman. Because now you're looking in the mirror and you're looking at yourself, well, my breasts are not bigger than hers, or hers are bigger than mine. Her butt is bigger than mine, or my butt is bigger than hers. So it's always this comparison disease going on in your mind. 1. 2. Your body figure. Then it becomes the material things that you have. I have a Gucci bag. She has a Louis Vuitton bag. Oh, she's better than me. Yo, at the end of the day, this is a program you guys have bought into, and you keep falling for the same repetitive trap. That's the trap, where you're told that you gotta have the bag, the watch, the hair, the lips, the body, the nails, the eyelashes that look like fingers on some of you people. Not everybody, but some people look like you ever seen that movie that the eye was here and for real, his hands were the eyes, right? Dead ass. Now I'm not playing with none of y'all. Like, I'm gonna call everybody out. And men think they women. So women are in competition with men because there's men that's fighting to be attracted to attract other men. So niggas is getting out there having operations done, and they're cutting their banana and getting a banana split, and men are actually sleeping with these dudes, not realizing that they weren't born a female. So my new thing is, I want to see baby pictures. You a girl? Word? Let me see your baby pictures because your Adam's apple or your ear or your 5 o'clock shadow looking a little funny there. Let me see your baby pictures. Because if I don't ask you that means I think you're a real woman. But if I see something funny and it don't look right, I'm asking for proof. Where your baby pictures at? At the end of the day, women, be comfortable in your skin. Embrace, accept yourself. You're beautiful the way you are. You don't gotta change shit. If anything, just go to the gym. You're not comfortable with yourself? Join the gym. Give yourself at least a year. A year. Because it's not going to happen overnight. Change your eating habits. Drink water. Eliminate the juice. Eliminate the sugars. The sugars alone, in 2 weeks, you'll see a difference. Eat organic food. Become the optimum version of yourself. The best version of yourself. Yeah, you know about the coffee. I told you 1,000,000 times. You don't listen. I can't live without my coffee. You know that's a depressant. But you need your... What's it called again? Well, that explains your sugar level. Keep drinking that shit. No, it's not a high. Something else. Caffeine. That's what I meant. Thank you for the love, okay? So like a woman has to invest in herself, her hair, her nails, her toes. She got to get BBLs, breast implants or reductions, butt implants. Have a blessed day. You got to get all this done, right? In order to just fit in. Like, yo, what's wrong with people, man? Thank you for the love. Thank you. Then there's these guys. That's when you become the standard. That's when you know that you love yourself. That's when you know this is me. Either you take it or leave it. Take it or leave it. Because the moment someone, for example, Jersey, I'm going to use you for example. Please forgive me. Let's just say I start talking to you and there's some things I don't like about you, right? And I start to change you. I start to manipulate you. I get in your head to have you to believe that you're insufficient, you're not good enough, you need to make adjustments, you need to change who you are, you need to change who you are. If this is how I found you, no, I'm just using you as an example. I didn't say that. I know what you're going to say. But let's just say there's some female who have low self-esteem. And they allow themselves to be changed. But at the same time, they lose who they are. They lose themselves. They don't even remember who they are. Now they're lost in the relationship because the relationship has become the worship. They worship the relationship, but they lose themselves. So they're disconnected from who they are now, only to find themselves in a trap. Which people come out of relationships after 15 years only because they had to, they had to play the role to make it look pretty on the outside for everybody to see that we look happy. But behind closed doors, everybody's sad, depressed, and fucking miserable. I tried it for 3 years. I am not doing it for nothing, for nobody. Because I felt like, yo, is this how it really is? Is this what a relationship's supposed to be? Like outside, we play the role where everything is perfect. We don't have no problems, but we're having arguments in the car. Like, yo, I can't stand you. We get home, we argue, go to sleep mad at each other. You go to sleep mad at each other with the person that sleeps with you, that breaks bread with you, and that actually sleeps in the same bed with you. And you're going to sleep mad at this person. This is the person that you're doing life with, but you can't even stand them. You can't even stomach them. And here you are. Who's phony though? Right? This is I started to ask myself, yo, am I being fake because I'm still in this relationship? So I started to have the conversation with her. Hey, listen. I don't think this is going anywhere. I think we need to get a divorce. One, I was 10 years older. So the mentality wasn't on the same page. Two, my way of thinking wasn't the same. She practiced one religion, I practiced another. So there's already the split. I didn't know that other religion even existed until I got married. Three, we grew apart. We didn't do life together. We did life apart from each other. What happens? Division, separation, disconnection. You're no longer a unit. Now you're divided. What does that cause? A whole lot of friction. Because now you're aiming at each other with resentment, anger, bitterness. My love turned to hate. I resented that person. There were a lot of issues that went undealt with, but started to be spoken about the moment the conversation of divorce came about. It takes certain measures for certain things to happen in order for them to hear you. Now they hear you, right? Before they didn't notice you. Now they see you because you're a threat to, I don't want no parts with you. I don't want nothing to do with you. I want to part ways with you. I don't want this relationship no more. So she calls an uncle of mine, talks to his wife, and says, can you please come over? Tries to convince my uncle's wife to tell me to stay in the relationship. I said, yo, you can't. What you always told me? You can't beat a horse to drink water. Something like that. I said, this relationship is over with. I don't got feelings for her no more. Like through all the thing you dragged me through in this relationship, and you expect me to have feelings for you? For the stuff that you did behind my back that I ended up finding out later on, which I already knew, by the way, only to confide and confess and approach and address the situation at hand. Now it becomes a topic of discussion because now we need to address how we're going to part ways, how we're going to make this divorce, how are we going to end it without there being no war. Because yeah, let's be two adults. Hey, things didn't work out. You're gonna have to go your way, I'm gonna have to go my way. But at the end, I don't want there to be war. I want there just to be peace. Because at the end of the day, however we end this, there was some type of a past. There was something that started as on a positive note, right? It started off on a good note. It just ended bad. And it's left a sour taste in everybody's mouth. But it's, you live, you learn, you grow, and you move on. You forgive, you forget, and release in love. And that was my marriage. Led to divorce. Then my daughter's mother, she would like to throw, I used to say novelas, in front of her daughter, and I used to tell her, listen, I'm not her personal TV show. I'm not a sitcom for this kid to be into entertainment for her, because you're putting on a show in front of her. You're teaching her the wrong thing. Be cautious and aware of what you're doing, because you're arguing in front of this kid and you're making it seem like this is normal when it's not. So I didn't want that for my daughter. So what I decided to do at the age of 3, I left and packed my stuff and I left. Someone said to me that you have to make drastic moves for them to listen to you. Right? It's not until you make a drastic move that they notice you, they see you, and they hear you. Once they see, hear, and notice you, now they want to talk to you. Now they want to make amends. They want to make peace. But in reality, it's already too late, because at the end of the day, if you didn't try prior, why would you want to try now? So you're going to give it a temporary effort to try to have a long-term effect? That's not going to work. It's a lifetime deal. When you join a relationship with someone, it's either you're in or you're out. End of the story. So I didn't want my daughter to come up thinking that arguing in a relationship, it's normal. I didn't want her to think that having resentment towards the person that you're doing life with, that's normal. I didn't want her to have the stereotype where everybody makes it look like it's nice and pretty on the outside, and behind closed doors, everybody's miserable. I didn't want her to have that, because that becomes the standard for the kid. That becomes this is the expectation. I was cautious. I was aware. And I said, you know what? I'm going to have to dip. Because I'm thinking about me first. Because at the end of the day, if I don't got love for myself first, I would have stood there. And I would have settled. And I would have compromised. And I would have make adjustments. But am I losing myself in the midst of that? Am I being true to myself? Or am I going to stay and become and allow myself to be miserable like everybody else and just become a statistic? Hell no. I'm not trying to look like anybody else. I'm not trying to be like anybody else. And I don't want to be miserable like everybody else in the pool of marriage relationship in today's society. Everybody's playing everybody. Everybody's sleeping with everybody. Everybody's running game on the next person. Hey, Riggs. Thank you. Everybody's running game on the other person. And at the end of the day, no one's being authentic, organic, true, and real to no one else. Like, today's society is messed up, because I get why a lot of men, and especially women, because first and foremost, what I've learned throughout the years, in order to have a woman to trust you, you got to make her feel safe when she speaks or in your presence. She feels safe in your presence or in conversation with you, she's open. She's all in. But you don't make her feel safe. Women have this intuition. I feel like women are more intuitive and spiritual than men are. Because men, we allow our ego, we allow our pride, and we're disconnected from our heart and our spirit. Our heart is where everything magic begins, right? The magic begins from the heart. The creative side comes from the mind. This is where you put your creative hat in. But we tend to allow our ego to drive the body. Men. This is why women are more connected and more intuitive and more close to their heart and can see through bullshit, because they're close to their emotions. Men think with one thing. I'm going to be honest. I've been there. I dip and dab all the time. I'm not going to lie. I'll admit it. I dip and dab, but I'm cautious about it at the same time. But I don't overstep any boundaries with anybody, because then I'm just being a phony. But women, I notice with me, feel safe and comfortable because one, I don't come with judgment. That's not in my spirit. That's not in my heart. I know how to connect to my emotions. I know how to connect to my feelings. I know the difference in how to separate the two between masculine and feminine. I know to be in my feminine, I have to have feelings and emotions and be able to be expressive with how I feel. I have to be able to articulate what I'm thinking and I'm feeling in order to be understood. But at the same time, when you're spiritually in tune, like really in tune, you can tell when somebody's playing bullshit on you. You can read and smell BS. And for the most part, like I said last week, people are like Care Bears. You know how one had the rainbow, one had the heart, one had a broken heart, one had I don't remember. Whatever that was on the stomach actually is just a reflection of what's really on your heart. It's what's radiating out of you and projecting out. That's your power. That's what you tell the world that you're full of. Whatever is in your heart. And that becomes your signature. So what I meant to say was one last thing. People are always looking for the imperfections in someone else because they're so focused on their own personal imperfections. So they constantly want to radiate and project that onto other people, but don't take it personal when someone's judging you or when someone's looking at you some type of way. Because in reality, it's just a reflection of their own. You're just a mirror reminding them of their own personal insecurities. And I used to get offended by it. I still sometimes do. I'm not even going to lie, right? Because I don't want attention. I don't want to be noticed. I don't want to be seen, and I don't want to be heard. I want to be like a shadow in the crowd. Like you don't see me and you don't notice me. I want to be in, I want to be out. Then I want to be able to read the room. But when you like that, you tend to stand out like a sore thumb for whatever reason that is. You attract everything to you. People see you, people notice you, and right away it's like, hey, look at him. He's trying to hide again. But people just gravitate towards you because of your energy. What's up, Shelly? Shelby. Excuse me. People could gravitate towards you because it's what your heart is full of. So if you have resentment, you'll attract people. You'll attract people who are on the resentment frequency. That's the energy that you're projecting is what you're attracting. It's just a mirror. People are just mirrors of what you're full of. So if someone has anger issues, there's a part of you that's wounded, has anger issues that hasn't been dealt with. They're just a reminder. Whenever you're triggered by someone, because only until you allow someone, you give them the permission to trigger you, it means you're giving your power away. So the moment that you give your power away, now they become your master and you become their servant. Nah, give me my power back. I'm not giving that kind of power away. I'm not going to have someone to be a master over me just because I want to allow my personal side to be offended. When you take things personal, that's when you start to be inflicted with your feelings and emotions and thought process. Hey, Yoli. How are you? The question was, why do people drink I'm great. Like always. You know that. So, seriously. I keep on drinking, but deal with that inner wound first. Once people drink because they're afraid to face their fears, they face their trauma, they face the wounds that are inside of you. The infamous Emily. So the reason why people drink is to numb the pain. So you're really gonna just tell me, hey, Emmy, you're gonna really tell me there's no childhood trauma, there's no abandonment issues, there's no insecurities, there's no jealousy, there's no... So you're vibrating at a high frequency, there's no issues. Look deeper. No, y'all just looking at it at the surface level. Look deeper. Look deeper. Are you offended easily? People drink to numb away their pains, to forget. Why, when a whole week goes by, they're like, oh, I'm going to run to the bar and drink. To forget I'm stressed out. Why are you stressed out? Because you went to work for a week? I do physical work and I still go to the gym every day after because it's a high for me. Where's the toxicity in that? That's my health I'm constantly looking out for. That's my mental state I'm looking out for. Why do you need to drink? Why do you feel like you need to drink though? But what are you numbing? You see, you guys are all masking. What's up, Jazz? Everybody's masking and making an excuse. Deal with the real pain. Like, really look deep inside of you. After this, like when we hang this up and we end this call or whatever the case is, y'all really gonna think about it. And y'all gonna say, do I have a childhood trauma not looked at? Do I have some type of insecurity? Do I have a hidden wound? What is your relationship like with your parents? Let's start with that. Have a great day, love. Bye, Jazz. Your relationship with your mother and father is perfect. Your relationship with your kids is perfect. It's on point. Your relationship, and the most important, significant relationship with yourself, it's on point. Told y'all gonna get offended. Because this is when it becomes personal. This is when it hits home. Where it's like, this is what I do, and that's not the reason. But if you look, because you're only doing it from the conscious mind, you're just answering consciously, but you're not looking deep unconsciously. All right. Go to a therapist and see what they tell you. When you look deeper, you'll find your reason why you need to drink. Now, is it really worth it? Because in reality, alcohol, 1, is poisoning. 2, is separating you from your divine spirit. But they don't tell you that. Keep on drinking. right? It's deeper, people. You're sold a certain dream and an image. Remember Camel, the cool Joe smoking cigarettes? What happened to them? What happened to those people who were smoking all these years with throat cancer, lung cancer, dropping dead? But I'm telling you to look out for your health, and that drinking is going to cause. But there is no issues there. Just remember, later on, this segment, this conversation, right? Like, really think about your choices and decisions that you guys are making when it comes to what you put in your mouth. And I'm not talking about you see, you want to be an extremist with your answer. That's an extreme. At the end of the day, why are you doing it? To begin with. Because that's the end result. The end result is you're going to be becoming an alcoholic. And then what? Liver cancer? Okay. I have my coworker who stopped drinking recently, last about a year or two. Why do you do it? You think you like it, or is it because you want to fit in with your friends and make it look like you're cool? Have you ever went out to a bar and not have one drink, but everybody around you look at you weird? I've done it plenty of times, and it doesn't make me feel uncomfortable. It makes them feel uncomfortable. They feel like, yo, why you don't have a drink? I said, why are you inviting me to something that I don't want to do? And they get offended because I'm not hurt like they are, right? Everybody's perfect. I forgot. But the question is this, though. Why do you need it? From cigarettes to coffee to liquor. Coffee, addiction. Cigarettes, addiction. Liquor, drinks, addiction. Why do you need it? It's the same concept if you want to use cocaine, weed, and drugs. Crack. Let's take it to the extreme. Since you want to be alcoholic, let's take it to crack. Why are you doing it? That's the question. You're saying because you enjoy it. What brings enjoyment out of it? What is it that brings... Yeah. Because I'm going to keep asking you why and why, because you're not getting to the deeper reason of why. Until you make that conscious awareness to yourself of why, that's the only reason, because you enjoy it. Dig deeper. Dig deeper. No? Why? Keep on. Dig deeper. You guys are giving answers to everything that's in a commercial that's sold to you subconsciously as an answer. You don't even realize the reason why you do it. One, to fit in, to look cool. Like I said, you remember Joe who used to smoke? The Camel? Cigarettes, right? Casanova in the movies. What is he doing at the bar? He's having a drink. What is the woman doing? Having them on the bar, having a drink. What movie have you ever seen that doesn't have liquor in it? The only time I relax is when I go to sleep. So I wouldn't know what it's like to relax, like besides this moment right now. And it's not even relaxing because at the end of the day, it's a promise that I made to myself that I'm going to be doing for a whole year. which we're halfway there. And at the end of the year, I decide whether I'm going to continue to do it or not. So relaxation doesn't live in my dictionary. It doesn't reside in my dictionary unless I'm asleep. And that doesn't even happen because I wake up in the middle of the night half the times. If I put out there the amount of sleep what is it about liquor that makes you feel happy? Do you need liquor to make you feel happy? That's what you're saying? Look at the logic of the answer of what you're saying. I need liquor. I need liquor in order to feel happy. So you're not happy with yourself without the liquor. That's what you're saying. Subconsciously, that's what you're really saying. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Your answer is basically what you're sold. This is how they sell you the bullshit gimmicks. It is what it is. But what it really I see is a child that was wounded as a little girl / little boy that doesn't know how to feel or express or heal that childhood trauma, that childhood wound. And it brings up in their insecurities, whatever the case is. Go ahead, Jersey. We could keep on. I know you like to argue, and that just shows you right there. There goes to the proven factor that you always need to be right. Keep on drinking. And in a couple of years, tell me how your health is. And at the end of the day, you haven't even faced or dealt with the inner wounds. For example, your last relationship was toxic? Yes or no? Just say yes or no. Don't even put anything else. How did you attract this toxic relationship? When you was in a toxic relationship, right? How do you think you attracted this toxic relationship? So you're telling me there's no hidden wounds within yourself that you have not dealt with. You see how you're quick to point the finger? No one takes that accountability and says, it was me. Because at the end of the day, you attracted, you manifested, and you brought this person into your existence. Because without you, he wouldn't exist. Again, you're telling me you need liquor in order to be happy. Again, you're telling me if this person didn't exist that you claim was toxic, so there's got to be toxic within you. You're telling me only one person has to be toxic to be in a relationship? Toxic is like a magnet. Two come together and it becomes one. It's not one and the other one. You're not argumentative? Because you can see it all over here right now. Toxic is both ends. It's the only reason why it exists in a relationship. If you weren't toxic, you wouldn't seek toxic. I had abandonment issues. I had insecurities. There was a sense of jealousy. I could tell you why, from what, where, and what level, what extent on each one of them, because I dealt with each and every one of them. And that was in my last 3 relationships. No. The last 4 relationships. There was a sense, and in each one, it started to heal more and more and more and more until the last one. And then since then, I said, you know what? No more relationships, no more nothing. Until I deal with everything, clean my slate, become brand new. And the reason why I could speak on the liquor, the reason why I could speak on that level of where it's coming from, because I dealt with it, because I had it. And I'm telling you, there's something that you haven't dealt with that you need to, because you wouldn't need the liquor. Plain and simple. Yep. Yoli. You get it. This is why I don't say anything. Some of you just don't get it. Put it like this. The cocaine addict won't need the cocaine unless there was an issue. How do you mask the issue? By continuing to numb the pain with a particular substance. You do. It's just trying to open an eye. That's all I really want to do. It's open. Not force, not make someone. It's just awareness. You just like to be argumentative. That's all I see. But you just want to be debating. But getting off. It's about that time. I gotta go get Soraya. Thank you. I gotta go get my daughter. It's my weekend. Hi. Should run for president or be a lawyer. I could debate, it's just I ain't got the time. So thank you, Emmy. Everybody, enjoy your weekend. Thank you. She says she's ready. Just got the text. Gotta go get her. You guys enjoy your weekend. Have a good one. Stay safe. Stay protected. And this little girl is impatient. She just texts she's ready, and she's already sending a question mark. You women are so demanding. Swear to God, it starts early. Enjoy your weekend. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for the debate, Jersey. Go drink. Knock yourself out. Disconnect from your soul. Disconnect from your spirit. That's what the government wants you to do. Vote for Biden, Trump, and all of them. I gotta go. She's already calling. Impatient. You guys have a good one. Take care. Thank you for coming through, listening, hearing. It got interesting. Thank you.